creative apps through gamification. So let's dive right in. Today we live in a digital era where mobile applications are integral part of our daily routines. There is an app for almost every possible need. So this results in the market being extremely competitive with millions of options fighting for users' attention. So therefore, developers have to find a way of delivering an app that satisfies user needs, but also that keeps offering continuous value for the users. In particular, the use of gamification has emerged as a strategic solution for encouraging continuous app usage, as can be seen in various applications across different sectors. But what is gamification? One of the most common definitions is the use of game design elements in non-game contests. So for example, the use of points, badges, and leaderboards that are incorporated with mechanics that is defining the rules on how the game is going to work. So before going more specifically, let's talk about the context of the study. In particular, the study was carried out through the testing of gamification in my company's yet to be released mandala application. This app enables users to create unique digital mandalas, and we can see some examples on the right. This app enables users to just change some parameters, changing colors, arranging layers, and so on to create these unique designs. So by looking at them, you could ask yourself, how can I create a design like this, starting from this? And you could have some idea on how to interact with the application, or you could have no clue on how to interact with the UI. And therefore we can define another problem to find a solution for. A common challenge users face when approaching a new application is quickly losing interest in it due to its initial complexity or lack of clear guidance. And many applications offer tutorials, but often they are considered boring or they're too long, and they lack engagement. So by integrating gamification to it, we aim at making the process of learning and interacting with the application more fun and more compelling. So with that said, we defined our research question as the following. Can gamification in a creative app significantly boost user engagement and motivation to create art? To help answering this question, we focused on answering also other sub-questions and understanding the power of gamification. From the psychological mechanisms triggered by it, from understanding the challenges and barriers users could face when interacting, and the key elements that are most valuable for users. What are the theoretical foundations lying underneath gamification? Well, the two most important ones that are fundamental are intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. The intrinsic motivation originates from the individual, from personal satisfaction and the basic enjoyment and natural interest in an activity, without the need of any external rewards. Intrinsic motivation instead is driven by external incentives and other than self-fulfillment. And both of them are necessary for an efficient gamification strategy, one being ideal for engagement and personal satisfaction, and the other one being ideal for encouraging less appealing behavior. So the strategy for implementing gamification was using this 6D framework that helped us providing a structured path to follow for implementing it to our application. And thanks to this framework, we were able to select some mechanisms and components to add to our app. Also, thanks to the framework, we were able to set the base for the prototyping, where we simulated the whole environment and we added the new components and mechanics. We chose the prototyping because it was easier faster for the sequent user testing session. And we added some page for fostering, each page fosters some special behavior from the user. Of course, there were some limitations since the prototype was done in Figma, and there were some limitation on the actual functionality of the app. So for the evaluation of the gamification strategy, we relied on a mixed approach, both using quantitative and qualitative methods. For the quantitative, we carried out surveys through Google Forms, and for the qualitative, the main one was the user testing. Also in the survey in Google Forms, there were some open-ended questions, and after the user testing, system usability scale analysis was done to assess the usability of the prototype. 103 participants replied to the survey, and from this poll, 8 were interviewed for the user testing. For the quantitative evaluation, we relied on a statistical approach, while for the qualitative data, we proceeded with a thematic analysis. Now, the quantitative results were first used for understanding the familiarity with gamification and the general perspective of users regarding to this topic. And then we had some insights on what to ask during the user testing, also regarding, for example, favorite gamification features and so many others. The user testing process was done involving these 8 participants that first asked some pre-task questions, and then had to complete a series of tasks, like describing the UI without having seen it before, completing a challenge, unlocking a template, and participating in a voting contest. And they were not helped during this, so they had to. This was helpful for understanding the usability of the overall prototype. And then after the tasks, there were some after-task questions for evaluating and receiving some feedbacks from the user. So thanks to the thematic analysis and the surveys, we were able to identify some of the most recurring answers and concepts suggested by the participants. Some regarding the potential barriers of gamification, like the complexity of tasks that could be not balanced with the skill of the user, and maybe the clarity of instructions. Some of them were not that clear, and some were just not interested in the gamification side, but were interested in the app itself. So, and from this, we were also able to gather insights on what were the desired features in the app for the future, and what were the most gamification features, and the values that could bring having new content and continuous update to the app. So the quantitative results from the survey and the qualitative feedback from the user testing session showed a positive correlation between gamification features and the user engagement. So to answer our main research question, can gamification in a creative app significantly boost user engagement and motivation? Yes, but it needs to be taken into account that firstly, it needs to be implemented as a strategy, and it needs to be tailored for the situation you're in. You cannot just add buttons or points to an app. And second, we have to continuously update our content and maintain this called the flow state that has a balance between the challenges and the skill level of the user. And lastly, we found that understanding the user is one of the most important value for having a user testing and a study like this, since sometimes we just need to ask them what they would like to have in the application. Thank you.
In a non-game context. But indeed what in your study you focused only on the game.
Yeah.
So you focus on the game regardless the context in which that game could be included.
Yeah, because basically what we wanted to achieve is some people are already testing this application because they really like mandala creation, because it gives therapeutic benefits and so on. But a lot of other people don't maybe realize that, or don't even know this maybe bubble exists. So by integrating this, we wanted to reach a target audience, let's say, and with gamification you can give like specific users and have different needs. So like for example, we did also an analysis about the player on the surveys, but it was too short to include it. And basically some players are achievers, some players are explorers, and each of them has different needs, and by integrating some elements that could go well from a type of users, it maybe encourages him to or her to use the app, and some others that are more fond of, for example, community interactions have another side of the app. So we try to like put something for everyone, let's say.
Yeah, no, my question was, since your focus, your declared focus was on gamification and defined as game feature integrated in an app, it seems to me that the question was, this specific game, in which kind of applications, say serious application, can it be integrated? Otherwise, I mean, it's a very nice study, but it's a study about a game, not about gamification.
Yeah, this was done considering my company's application, but
so
yeah, this was a.
I was wondering if you have any example in which this game can be smoothly integrated into a serious application, because it seems to be really a game as a game, and not because there are some gamification features that you add when you are doing a task, a serious task. If you add some gamification feature, you make the task less boring. But in this case, the game that you have inspected and evaluated is a sort of self-standing component. Just to understand the perspective that you took.
Like for us, this app was considered not maybe a game, but more a way of creative expression. So that's why we integrated gamification to it. But
the app is so. What's the app for which this game was designed?
This mandala application.
Yeah, the mandala application.
You can create adjusting parameters, and it's like basically Photoshop but only for mandalas.
Okay, that was missing. So you have a serious application which is called mandalas, and you added some gamification features. So so I was missing that link with the serious part.
Okay,
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.